Shall we start the program now? Haripriya ma'am, Dharmarajan sir.
Yes, madam. Is it audible now?
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all the esteemed speakers, participants, and academicians. Join us today for the second International One-Day Seminar on Exploring Big Data, Trends, and Opportunities. This seminar is organized by the National Institute for Research and Development, India, in association with LKP Academy. We are delighted to have you are with us in this knowledge sharing platform through which we are more on this 25th September 2020. To set the tone for today's seminar, may I now invite Mr. T.B. Abhinav sir, multitasking staff, Department of Publication and Production, Lailani Kati Publication Office, Madurai, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to one. On behalf of NARDA LKP Academy, I warmly welcome you all the second International One-Day Seminar on Exploring Big Data, Trends and Opportunities. In today's digital era, data drives innovation and transformation. This seminar provides a platform for researchers, academicians, professionals, and learners to explore trends, challenges, and opportunities in big data. We are honored to have Professor Dr. K. Dharmarajan with us, whose expertise will guide us with valuable insights. I also thank our organizer, collaborators, and participants for their support and presence. Wishing you all a day of learning and meaningful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the warm and inspiring welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored to have with us academician and researcher as our research person, Professor Dr. K. Dharmarajan, sir, Professor and Associate Director of Digital Infrastructure, School of Computing Science and Computer Application, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Chennai. Professor Dharmarajan sir has an outstanding academic and professional background and his expertise in digital and big data technology will guide us to understand the latest trends and opportunities in this dynamic field. We now request Professor Dharmarajan sir to share this insight and deliver the seminar. Welcome, sir. Dharmarajan sir.
Yes, madam. Is it audible now?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Are you clear? Is it visible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, my sincere thanks to the God and my parents, and a special thanks to the National Institute for Research and Development Center and LKG Academy, all the organizing committee member. First of all, my sincere thank you, one and all. Another thing, I warm welcome our today's session. Okay, webinar, our students or some other faculty members. Good morning, welcome to all. So, in the current trend, the technology was each and every day updated. The technology was moving to the next level. So, we want upskill our technology so that we need to learn another one new technology like as exploring big data trends and opportunities in this current scenario. So this session will going to given about the what is the big data, and I think what is the current trends it's going on in the industry as well as the academic part. As a new learner or a student or a job seeker, what are the opportunities available in this market? It will going to given the proper guideline and then what are the structure in big data for you. Are you clear? Is it audible now? Can you give some anyone reply?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Are
Yes,
you
sir.
clear? Okay, thank you. First thing. So in the current trend, we want to know what is the data, what is the big data, why we are going to focus on the big data. So now the data, everybody knows that. Okay, any information is called as a data. For example, you can consider your name, father name, mother name, mobile number, father, everything is called as a data. Why we are going for the big data? I mean, right now we all are fully adapted the technology, as well as you are going to birth up to death, birth certificate up to death certificate, we all are fully dependent upon the database. So in the current scenario, so we all are fully purchasing for the either social media, and then lot of online, we are going to buy the product through the online, job searching, everything fully depend upon the database. So all our data can be stored on the very big manners. So that is called as a big data. So today's session, we're going to discussing about introduction about the big data. Number two, what are the applications in big data? What are the places the big data will be played? What are the places will be using? Those kind of things we're going to discuss. Third thing, once you are familiar about the topic, what are the job opportunities in the current market? Now there are technology has been updated. AI plays a vital role in the all places. Lot of recession, okay, lot of layoff going in the current scenario. So how will going to sustain our job? Another thing, how we can equip our skill? What are the opportunities in this current scenario? Those kind of things we're going to discuss. Another thing, before we're going to learn big data, what are the challenges in the current scenario? So that is another one thing we need to discuss. Apart from that, what are the characteristics of the big data? Before we're going to study the course, study the technology, what are the character of big data? What are the uh, hardware configuration needed? What are the software configuration needed? What are the job market is there? What is inside in the big data? So everything we need to understand. Third thing, before you going to learn, what are the tools to acquire the skill? What are the technology we need to acquire the skill? Another thing, the last one is AI and ML, like as artificial intelligence and machine learning. In the current scenario, play as a vital role in anywhere. Okay, so the big data also they are using for the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. How the AI and ML using on the big data. Those kind of things we're going to elaborately discuss. Okay. Number one. First thing we want, what is mean by big data? So already we know that data is some of the meaningful information is called as a data. So what is mean by the large and complex data set is called as a big data. First, kindly keep it in your mind. So data already we know that there is a you can consider your name, father name, mother name, everything is called as a one data. So in the traditional way, we are using for the MS Access, SQL Server, Oracle, these kind of things already we are used. But the technology has been moving. Lot of uh, lot of new data will be arrived. How we going to save, how we going to manage? That's the reason we are moving to the big data. So first thing, what is in the big data mean? Large and complex data is called as a big data. First thing. Another thing, that big data term who's introduced. So 1990s, John Massey is created for the popularizing this term. This is the starting point. Another thing, right now, data is there are many different ways, like images, text, audio, video, symbols, okay, and then JSON file, XML file. There are different type of format in the current trend. The data has been generated. So number of which are stored and transmitted from one device to another device through the electronic signal or some other communication medium. So this is a one very big challenge. How will going to handle this one? This is a main primary part. Next, in the real world, Okay, so what are the big data generation? What is the impact? Why you need to study the big data? Why you want to learn the big data? So, for example, it's you consider in your mobile phone. Everybody they are used the mobile phone, smartphone. The mobile phone it's contained mostly they are using for the WhatsApp, Facebook, social media, or taking the photo, file sharing, everything. So within a 1 minute, within a 1 day, 1 terabyte terabyte data has been generated for the stock market exchange. Let's you can consider the social media. Right now we are everybody they are using for the social media like Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, or email, or social media. Within a 1 minute, so mostly 2 crore photos has been uploaded in the Instagram. Around there are 1.73 lakhs of data has been created. Another thing, the YouTube, the 300 hours video has been uploaded within a minutes. This is a very, very, very impact. The data has been generated in the current scenario. Okay, so for example, like jet engine, more than 10 TB generated during the within a half an hour data has been generated. So why I'm going to given this information mean first we should understand what is the impact, what is the demand in the current market, how you are going to organize with the manner, what are the technology to involve within the problem, how we're going to solve. That's the reason you need to understand about the what are the places the data has been created. Next, so what are the places the big data will be playing? Number one, healthcare industry or life sciences. Healthcare industry means let's you are going for the any hospital. Okay, the patient detail, what are the treatment you are going to approach. Another thing, what is your full result? Everything will be tracked through the healthcare record. Another thing, life sciences means, for example, let's go going for the any the pharmacy, all the billing software only they are using for the like any software. Another thing, right now the share market will be play as another one important role, either business analysis, marketing analysis. That is a second part. Third thing, like finance or banking sector, right now fully depend upon the mobile banking as well as internet banking. So each and every customer they are using for the bank balance or fund transfer each and every minute. Within a minute, there are lot of people they are transferring the money from one account to another account. Another thing, the share market. This is also using for the. This is also will play big data will play as a very vital role. And third thing, the government and the public service. Government public service means like your any other birth certificate or land registration. So each and everything fully depend upon tax filing. Everything will depend upon the bank data. Third thing, education industry. Nowadays, the student they have to enroll only through the online. So student information, each and every institution to maintain the ERP, student's name, mark list, everything fully depend upon the education industry. Another thing, manufacturing industry, transport industry, energy and environment industry. Next, especially for the entertainment and the media. So now fully we are using for the smart TV, YouTube, as Instagram. So the entertainment media, big data will play as a very big role. Third thing, agriculture. In our country, agriculture is a very primary part. So right now, the weather prediction, which crop you need to use it. So whole the thing we need to depend upon the big data. So the big data will play as a each and every step in our day-to-day life, like the healthcare, business, finance, government, education, manufacturing, including all the field, the big data will be played as a very primary part. Second thing, once you are very familiar about the big data, what are the job opportunities in the big data? Before you would like to study any courses, you need to any technology. First thing you should understand about that what is the current scenario. For example, I would like to small example for the just you can consider for the job portal like yes naukri.com. Just you can check whether what is a market level. For example, here you can check what is the market in big data? For example, as a fresher, search. So whether you can check as a either naukri.com or linked or nonce.com, this is all are the job search port. Okay, here lot of job opportunities available, especially for the big data and Hadoop. So big data, it is a one part. Hadoop is a tool. How we're going to solve the issue. Number two, so big data developer, big data analyzer, another thing, data engineer FTC, data analytical, data engineers. There are so many job opportunities available in the current scenario. So, what are the job opportunities? Number one, big data engineer, data scientist, so big data analyst, data visualization, and then business intelligence, database administrator, especially for the Hadoop or Spark developer, cloud data engineer, for example, Amazon websites, Azure, Google Cloud, data architect, AI and deep learning specialist, IoT data analyst, data validation expert. There are so many job opportunities available in the big data. So once if you are the final year students or job seeker or you are the teacher, once you can acquire the skill, especially for the big data, lot of demand available in the current scenario. Next, what are the challenges in this current scenario? What are the demand? Number one, right now the lot of developer is available, but they have the lot of challenges. Number one, they have the lack of skilled professional. So there is a profession is there, but there is no the proper skill. Especially they don't have the proper lot of experience in the Hadoop or Spark or Hive. That is a number one drawback. That is a shortage of an expert who can analyze and manage the big data efficiency. This is number one efficiency. Number two, lack of proper understanding. So this is a very important point for the proper understanding. There is a gap between the client as well as the developer. First, we should understand the what are the client requirement. Then only we need to go for the proper tools and technique to give the proper visualization report. This is another drawback in this current scenario. Third thing, data growth issue. So the data has been each and every day generated. Every second the data has been generated. So rapidly increasing the data volume. Volume in huge data. Create and store and processing is a very challenging one. There is a third kind of challenges. Number one, number fourth one, confusion in tool selection. Just a minute. What is the confusion mean? The client requirement is different. There is no proper technology person, so they don't have the which tool it is a very perfect to the tool. So this is another one very big challenge. They are confused. Is it right tool? Either Spark is right or MapReduce is right or Hadoop is right. So whether which kind of tool will be select. This is another one very confusion for the another one challenges in the big data. Another thing, integrating data from multiple sources. So right now data has been generated many ways, like online, offline, whether cloud storage or personal computer storage. There are so many ways the data has been generated. Another thing, each and every data in the different type of manner. Some of the data in structured format, some of the data in unstructured format, some of the data in log format. The data has been different places in the different format. So we need to organize with the proper manner. It should be a very difficult one. Third thing, the security issue in this current market. In the worldwide, fully focused, the data security is a very primary part. In the world level, The security issue would be happening each and every places like as a money transaction up to data leakages. So Indian government also, they are facing lot of issue for security issues. So the big data will be provide the complete solution, especially for the Unix OS. So within that, we'll provide the proper encryption and decryption technique, lot of security policies, and there are so many complaints and handled through the data set. This is all are the very big challenges in big data management. Okay, number one, there is lack of professional skill. That is, they are not understand the proper technology. So another thing, the data has been generated every day. We need to understand how the data has been going. Third thing, which tool we need to use, data integration and security. This is all are the very primary challenges in the big data. So another thing, yeah. So within a big data, there are five primary characteristics, and I think there are five primary part in the big data. Number one, volume. Number two, variety. Number three, velocity. Number four, value. Number five, veracity. The five factor play as a very primary role in the big data mining. Okay, so number one, volume. Right now, each and every day in the 2011 up to 2027, the research report given the how much of data will be growing every day, how the data has been created, how we have to manage. This is a primary part. Number one, what is mean by volume? Volume means huge, large number of data. So big data refer to the extremely large amount of data. So measured by the terabyte, petabyte, at exabyte, and beyond the size. This is a very good number one. Number two, high data generation. That right now the data can be generated through the social media, IoT, e-commerce, financial, government, railway. There are each and every day, as well as let's you can consider in your WhatsApp. There are so many places, there are created many ways. That is the second thing. Next, the storage challenges. What kind of challenges is going to? Traditional storage technique, like I said, we are using for the once upon a time, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, MS Access, okay, Firebird. There are different type of like mainframe. There are different type of database software. Right, early stage we are used to. Right now, this kind of storage cannot possible. So we need to understand, we need to adapt the skill for, especially for the Hadoop or cloud technology. Then only we'll going to give us a proper solution. So the first primary part, it is a volume play as a primary part. Number two, variety. So variety, it's mean the data has been generated, already I told you, many different ways. For example, some of the data in structured format, some of data in semi-structured format, some of the data in the unstructured format. So what does it mean by structured data mean? Or let's consider any database. So a database is content, we are storing the data only for the table format. So within the table format, we can easily manage the database. Okay, there is no difficulty. That's the reason we are going to study on the database and then relation database. Another thing, database management system. Everything will be play only for the structured format. So in this current scenario, the semi-structured data is also created. So what does it mean by semi-structured? What does mean by structured data mean? So already the rows and column is called as a structured data. So unstructured data means that is email, social media, videos. This is like as unstructured media. Semi-structured like as a XML, JSON. This is like as a render. So first thing I already told you, structured data means like you can already you know the database. Database means a collection of information can be storing on particular place is called as a database. The database content we can store it. There are many tables. A table is content. There are so many rows and columns. The rows and column we can each and everything is called as an attribute. So this is like as a structured format we have to manage. This kind of thing will be stored on the early stage. Already I told you like that one. We can use it for the SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, Firebird. This is for the very traditional way. So right now the data, the second part is semi-structured. Semi-structured means it is not in strict row. There is no proper row. There is no proper column. So like like as a XML. XML extendable markup language as JSON file, log file. So this is like as a XML file format. Why they are using for the XML file format means the data can be transferred from very fast manner from one place to another place. Number one. Another thing, number two, the storage capacity is a very less. Number four, easy to convert from one file format to another file format. What is meant by one file format to another file format means? Number one, if you are using for the Oracle database, you can easily convert it to a MySQL server. MySQL data easy to convert into the MS Access. MS Access file can be converted to the so many type. This is like as a one primary part for the XML file. Number two, that is a JSON file, right? The security purpose mostly they are using for the JSON file, like when you are going to file your tax. So they are using for the tag JSON based statement has been sent to you. Number three, log file. Log file means what is meant by log file? Each and every day, what are the days you are going to activities? All the data has been generated through the log file. Log file is kind of there are two types. Number one, client side log file. Number two, that is a server side log file. The client side log file means what are the site you are visitor, what are the system you are going to work. All the information can be stored on the only for in our system. This is like as a client side log file. Server side log file means our information stored on the either web server or any other main server. Okay, what are the client has been visited, what and every detail will be stored the local file. Why we have to given that this there are three different kinds of information in. So as a big data, we need to organize the data in the either structured format, either semi-structured format. This is another one primary challenges. Third thing that is the data is a unstructured format. There is the what is meant by unstructured data? I mean, the data, what is meant by unstructured? The data is there is no proper rows and column. There is no proper format. Emails. Okay. Whether they every day they are using for the send the message through the text, email, or post, or videos, or images, or icons. There are so many ways. This is kind of things it's called as unstructured data. Another one example for the multimedia file also one of the another one example of unstructured data. So why we cannot explain about that this kind of thing mean as a big data, what are the challenges? Another one very big issue mean the varieties should be different. Okay. There is a one type of data mean easy to manage, easy to store. But data it's storing on the there are three different manner. Something is a structure, something unstructured, something it is a semi-structure. So as a big data, we need to properly organize the store and to distribute to the customer, distribute to the client. This is a second part. Third thing, velocity. So what is meant by velocity? Mean the data traveling period. So, for example, let's see the diagram. So now we have to transfer the data from sometimes in the cable, sometimes through the satellite medium, sometimes we are using for the Bluetooth. So we need velocity when the transaction speed right now we need. Okay, right now in India we are using for a 5G. So the speed we need to very important. Okay, so the data is produced to the unprecedented speed from the various sources like the social media, stock market, and IoT. So another one thing it's a velocity. Velocity means it's represented as a how the data can be transferred from one device to another place or one medium to another place. What is speed we are using that? Okay. The second thing, real-time processing. Right now we are using for a CCTV camera, capture the informations and the process and analyze. Just 1 minute. Hello. Okay. So data may be captured, processed, and analyzed instantly from the quick and decision making. Third thing, continuous data streaming. So data streaming means so one end to another end, how the data can be traveled. That is called a stream. Okay. For example, now the IoT sensor and then there are smart devices and the online transaction generate the non-stop data flow requested for the immediate handling. This is the third primary part. Next, value. So value means so in this current scenario, there are so many data has been generated. Whether we need to check the data is be correct or not. Okay, it is a valuable and reliable that is we store only for we can storing the data that is a valid and it's a reliable data. So store, process, and analyze. So extracting the useful information from the big data will help to revenue to efficiency. This is another very important. Next, the third V is veracity. So veracity means how much of data is reliable. It has been many ways, lot of filter transferred to the data. Verity is the process being able to handle the manage the data. For example, let's consider this table. So the minimum for everything is called as a one normal. Only one data, for example, 1,500, sorry, 15,000 should be a irrelevant data. So we can given as a maximum value. So maximum value mean it is a missing value. Suppose we need to calculate as a mean value, sometimes we are not able to add as a procedure. ST value. Okay. This is called as a variety. Why we have to deliver this 5S, 5V mean, sorry, 5V mean in the big data, the primary part, the play as a vital role for the 5Vs. Next, this kind of issue, how we'll handle, what are the tools we need to solve the problem. Number one, so Hadoop, especially the Hadoop tool will be using for the data storage and processing. Okay, Hadoop, within that there are three primary components. Number one, HDFS, MapReduce, Yarn. So the Hadoop, it is fully for distributed storage and batch processing. Number two, Apache Spark. The primary part is memory and fast data processing. Third thing, Apache Flink. It is a real-time streaming. That is a batch processing. Next tool, Google, BigQuery, AWS, Redshift, Azure, cloud-based data warehousing. This is all of the primary role to play in the big data. Next, so data storage and processing purpose we can using for the tool. Number two, computation and feeding. Computation means to calculate our data. Okay. Second, visualization purpose we using for the Power BI and then Tableau, Python, Google Colab, a great Fana 9. This is all the tool which will be useful for the visualization purpose. So first thing, the data storing purpose. When you have to decide to learn about the big data, first you should understand about the Hadoop. Okay, Hadoop which contain there are three primary part. One for the MapReduce, a Yarn controller. Third thing, that is a Apache Hibase, Spark, Hive, MongoDB. This is the topic. Next, what is meant by Hadoop? Why we need to study the Hadoop? So Hadoop which contain, that is one of the distributed storage and batch processing. What is meant by distribution? So you can consider Google is one of the search engine. So what are the information you have to request based on your request to provide the information. So any other banking domain, there is one server to provide the information. Now the ChatGPT also play as a same distributing concept where there are so many client requests to send to the server. So based on your request, the server to analyze to produce the result. This is a basic logic of the concept. So Hadoop, it is a number one. It is the open source framework for big data. Already you know that open source means it is one of the free. It is a free. Next there is some, it is a syntax you can able to manageable. You can change it. Okay. Number two, uses the HTML for distributing the storage. Number three, process data in parallel with the MapReduce. It is fully for the parallel processing concept. Number three, high scalable and across the cluster. Number four, provide the fault tolerance with the data repetition. Third thing, Apache Spark. Spark, it is a memory fast processing. Why we can using for the Spark when it is a memory fast, the storing the data in the fast. For example, you can consider now they are using for the SSD hard disk. So once upon a time, we are using different type of hard disk. The SSD compared with the other one, it is a very fast one. Same concept. When you are using for the SPOT technology, the memory, storage, allocation, indexing, data transaction, it should be a very speed. Third thing, Apache Flink. It is a real-time data streaming. For example, let's say you are watching my classes through the stream medium, as well as batch processing. Third thing, Google BigQuery. So this is everything for the cloud-based data warehousing. So the data can be stored on the cloud, so easy to manage. So we'll go into detail about the Hadoop. Hadoop means it is what is the procedure of Hadoop? There are three primary components: Hadoop, MapReduce, and HDFS. So Hadoop, it's kind of there are two primary part. One MapReduce. MapReduce. Just you can divide the two term. So the large number of sentence, huge number of planes can be reduced. That is a MapReduce. HDFS means it is called as a distributed file system. Hadoop distributed file system. Okay. Next, yarn framework and the commonly used. HDFS, what is a procedure? That is a break the big file into the small block and spread them across the cluster machines. That is a primary part. Number two, this ensure the data is repeatedly fault tolerant, easily accessible, even some machine is failure. That's why the big data, the best tool is Hadoop, and the Hadoop within that one. HDFS play as a primary part called as a huge number of file will be divided into small unit, then it process. Second thing, map reducing computing engine that process the data in distributed manner. It split is a large task into the smaller task, then the merge into the result. So huge number of file will be divided, then the file has been merged. For example, we would like to detail about the Hadoop. This is a Hadoop file system. Its the primary purpose is that store the data across the multiple machine. Main purpose, we can storing the data in multiple machine. What are the main feature is high throughput across the application. The Hadoop is current, there are two components. Number one, name node. Second one is a data node. So name node to serve the manage the file system, namespace recording across the file and the client. And the data node treated as a slave. Name node, another name is called as a master node. Data node, another name called as a slave node. So this concept using for the master slave. So master mean to allocate the work to the client. Slave mean what are the work allotted to the system, the slave to done. Okay, the slave where the actual data is stored. Data node also perform the block creation, deletion, replication based on the instruction and the name node. What are the information given as a name node to produce the result? So same thing. Second part is the map reduce. So a programming model processing the engine for processing the large data set into the parallel. The primary feature, it is a small subtasks. Huge number of tasks can be divided into small subtasks. That is a map task. And to reduce the task. Okay. At the same time, you are going to given the 1000 task mean the map producer will be divided into 10. Then only reduce the task to allocate each and every system. Which client is free, based on that will be allocated. So it's kind of there are two components. Number one, job tracker. Number two, task tracker. Job tracker means that is a master coordinate the distribution of map reduce. And the task tracker means what are the tasks assigned to the job tracker. It to provide the execution state. He is a allotted. He is a worker. Okay, like as a master slave concept in the map reduce concept also. Another one very big component is called as a yarn. Yarn means yet another resource manager. The primary purpose, that is a resource manager. Resource manager will mean what are the resources inside our computer, inside our connected the computer. So to manage the resource. So how would it be managed mean? So once that job is allocated, so the job will be divided into small part. So which system is free to allocate the work and complete as well as parallelly. This is the using the CPU also very efficiently. Separate resource manager from the processing layer to allow the multiple data processing engine like as MapReduce, Spark. This content there are two component: resource manager and the node manager. So each and every part it contains there are two parts. So resource manager cluster resource the allocate the resource. Node manager, the primary work is monitoring the resource usage like the CPU, memory, disk. So backup research. The what is the purpose? Collecting the utility library that support to the another. Okay, there are three primary parts. Lot of additional add-on. Add-on mean, for example, nowadays we are using for the Google Chrome software. Lot of add-ons we have to include it. Like the same concept in the Hadoop, there are so many add-on software is available. Number one, Hive, Big, HBases, Zookeeper, OZ. This is all are the software will be used, especially for the based on the work we can add at the main features. Next, the database management software. The big data also already told you, MongoDB. So MongoDB fully for the NoSQL document database. Right now, most of the company they are immigrate to the traditional database into the MongoDB. What is the purpose? There is a open source, easy to install, easy to deploy. Okay, the coding also very less, the syntax very less. That's the reason they are using for the MongoDB. Second thing, that is a Cassandra. It is a high scalable, no SQL concept. So high scalable data transaction very speed, more secure. Second one, HBase. That is the HBase fully for the column-oriented database on Hadoop. Next, NUO 4G. That is a graph database relationship with the networking. For example, when we are using for the RDMS, we need to give us a proper relationship between the each and every database, each and every table. The table is contained how many rows and column. Like you can consider the primary key and the foreign key concept. Like so, we're going to give us a one-to-one or one-to-many, many-to-one, many-to-there's a total overview of database structure with the type of tool. We need to give us a what are the relationship and how we're going to connect it to the each and system. So the four tool will be primarily used for the management of the database. Another thing, data collection. So we need to, before we're going to save the data, we need to collect there are different sources like as a social media or online purchasing or healthcare industry or medical industry or financial sector or any other government sector. We need to collect the data. So which software, which tool will be very easy to collect the data set? So Apache Kalfa, that is a real-time streaming platform. Number two, Apache Flame, collect and moves the log into the Hadoop. So already you know, so collect the all the information and the log data, which user they are visited, what are the data has been collected, all our log data. Log means what all the data will be recorded through the log, either client server log or server side log. Okay. Number two, Apache Scoop. So transaction between the Hadoop and the RDMS. Number two, NiFi. So automate the flow between the system. When the flow managing, sometimes sender is sending the very faster, the receiver also receiving the data slower, and the bandwidth issues and the fiber. There are so many issues. The NiFi will be handle the smooth flow from one to another. Another thing, another one primary part is the data analyze. Data analyze means once the data we need to analyze, then only we're going to give us a proper prediction or proper report to the customer or vendor, as a businessman, as any school or colleges. That is the reason they are using for the data analysis tool. So TensorFlow or PyTorch. So the backend AI and the ML will be played either R or Python. So most of the research work right now playing the Python plays a very important role in the developing sector as well as research work. Okay, why? It's a lot of pandas, NumPy, Stick-learn will be available. Another thing, R also you can use it for either Python or C code or C++ code or Java code. Okay, so it is one of the statistical analysis tool. Third thing, rapid miner. So rapid miner, it is one of the complete IDE. So it's containing the, especially using for the future prediction. For example, when you are going to do the research work, so the data, the last part is a future prediction. The future prediction, the rapid miner will helpful for the future prediction. Same for in life. Another thing, the visualization. Visualization is the end point of the your work. So Tableau, Power BI, Quick View, and Mapleap or DB3. This is the tool will give us a data visualization purpose. Another thing, the primary part is that ML, machine learning play as a vital role, especially for the big data. So all the places machine learning play important one. Same concept, the big data also, the machine learning plays a primary thing. First, everybody know that. For example, you can consider the human, this is a machine. As a human, we need to give the training to the machine. The machine will do the work. Similar like as a man thing. This is a basic concept. As per the procedure, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Number one, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. It focuses mainly on the designing the system, thereby allowing them to learn and make the prediction based on some experience, which is data in the case of machine. This is a machine learning. Okay. So already I told you, machine learning it's contain artificial intelligence. First one, artificial intelligence, artificially inside machine learning inside deep learning. So artificial intelligence is a technique which is enable the machine to mimic human behavior, same act as a human behaviors. This is a primary objective of the artificial intelligence. Machine learning is a subset of AI technology which use the statistical method to enable the machine to improve with the experience. There are so many types in the machine learning, we'll discuss about that. Then another one within that machine learning, another one called as a deep learning. So it is another subset of ML which make the computation of multi-layer neural network. Okay. Next, what is the machine learning mean? So early stage, traditional will provide the data and the problem. So computer to produce the output. The machine learning will provide the data, how you expect the output. You need to give the instruction. You can generate the code. You can generate the content. So then the program will be generated. So you are going to given the data, how you need output. That same also you are going to create it. The program will be given to you. This is a primary of machine learning. So machine learning is there are primarily four roles. Number one, supervised or individual learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, reinforcement learning. Supervised learning, training the data includes the desired output. Supervised learning, we need to inform. So how the data we need to specify, decide the output. So for example, 3 plus 3, there is 6, there is not change. This is like as a supervised learning. Okay. Unsupervised learning, training the data does not include the desired output. Whether the output has been changed, whether increase or decrease. Training the data does not include the desired output. We cannot be able to finalize the output. Third thing, semi-supervised learning. So training and the data includes the few desired outputs. Okay. Fourth one, reinforcement. So reinforcement will provide the ranking or rewards, awards. Like you can consider the first grade, second grade, third grade. So for a first mark, distinction, class first, we'll go into categories. Or the reinforcement given a star rating, first 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. So those kind of things are coming under the reinforcement learning. So before we need to learn the big data, parallelly we should understand about the machine learning. Why the machine learning we have to include in the topic means so the big data within that machine learning plays another important role. So the supervised learning and unsupervised learning, reinforcement. Supervised learning, it's divided into there are two parts. Number one, classification and the regression. classification is contained Navy bars, decision tree, support vector mission, random forest, KNN, everything under the classification. Next, regression also linear regression, neural network, support vector. Okay. Next, clustering it is K-mean clustering means if DB scan aggregation. This is all coming in the clustering. Next, decision making is a Q learning, R learning, TD learning. So uh, when we need to study the big data concept, okay, machine learning play the especially for the prediction the next level. Okay, so what is the difference between the relationship between the big data and the machine learning? First one, the definition of big data. It's a large volume of structure and unstructured data that are difficult to process with a traditional tool. Okay, so there is a big data. Machine learning technology to analyze, learn the pattern, and they make the prediction automatically. So this is a problem. This is a machine learning gives a solution. So what is the focus? Data storage, management, and the process. So data analyze, pattern recognition, and the prediction modeling. What is the purpose of big data? Handling, storing, processing massive data set in a very effective manner. So for that purpose, they are using for the extracting inside the automating the decision. Each and every time as a programmer, no need to give the instruction. So automatically based on the data type, based on the scenario, based on the machine, so the machine learning will give the proper result. So what are the tool will be used? Hadoop, Spark, HBase, Hive, Cassandra, MonoDB will be used for the big data. Already you know that. So machine learning means sketch learning, TensorFlow, okay, Python, PyTorch, YAML, XBoost, this kind of algorithm, this kind of tools, methodology used for the machine learning. So total outcome, the end result, the big data will be well organized, processed and accessible data. So machine learning is that is a actionable insight, predictable and intelligent decision making. Okay, so I would like to give the conclusion about the topic. Uh, Today the scenario, the big data will be plays a very important role. I hope did you understand about that? What is the primary introduction about the big data? What are the applications used in the big data? What are the job opportunities available about the big data? What is the characteristic challenges? Tools and technique like Hadoop, Spark, Hive. Another thing, machine learning, AI and ML. What is the supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning? Okay, so I would like to given some overview about that topic. Okay, I hope did you use the. Okay, if you have any clarification, any doubt, please ask me or come to the end of the session. Okay, is it right? Are you clear? Any doubt? Dear audience, any doubt? Okay.
So, I go to reference.
Any doubt from the audience? Okay, pa. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, Professor, for that
Thank you.
insightful and thought-provoking section. I am sure of our participants have gained a wealth of knowledge from your expertise. As we come to the close of today's seminar, I would now like to invite Mr. S. Muralikrishnan Sir, Multitasking Staff, Department of Publication and Production, Leilani Kati Publication and Press, Madurai, to propose the vote of thanks.
On behalf of NIRDI and LKP Academy, and sincerely thank our resource person, Professor Dr. K. Dharmarajan, the organizer and all participate for making this seminar a success. Let us a career forward today, the insight and big data into our future work. Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir, for those kind words of the gratitude. With this, we conclude the second International One Day Seminar on Exploring Big Data, Trends and Opportunities. We extend our sincere thanks to the organizing committee, our esteemed resource personnel, and all participants for making this seminar a success. Have a wonderful day ahead, and we look forward to seeing you in our upcoming events. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sir Dharmarajan, sir. Thank you all participants.